Houston Running Zone, the ultimate podcast for runners in the Houston area, featuring the everyday runners who inspire us, clubs, gear, races, and runcations. Houston, we've got the runs.
All right, today in the zone, I have a marathon runner. She's a run coach, and most importantly, she is a doctor of physical therapy. Here to talk to us about injury prevention is Amber Lowe. Amber, welcome to the zone.
Hey, thanks, Keith. Awesome. Good to meet up with another runner in the area. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that we kind of connected with Barry Running Club. Bark, we'll give them a little shout out, but you kind of did a virtual presentation for him because, meetings weren't happening, but you did the 2 common errors that can cause injury, which I like because it's common. Chances are something's going to happen to us if it hasn't happened already, but nobody really wants to be injured. So what are the 2 common, or let's go to the first one. What's the most common one that you see where people can say, I don't want to do that?
Yeah. Well, some interesting things. I've kind of changed my thought process on it since I did that presentation. So I'm going to flip it a smidgen since I did that.
New info. Yay.
New info, right here, right now for you, Keith. It's right for you. Perfect. So I kind of have 3 things that I'd love to share with you. The first one that I think still overlaps with both themes is overtraining. A lot of times, runners, we feel like if we do more, we're going to get faster. We're going to get better. We're going to be able to, just get a PR next time we go out for a race. But that's not always the case. And so I think it's important for people to realize that, hey, you need to have a plan that doesn't overstress your body when you're training, whether that's mileage or speed work or hills. Like, we have to make sure that our bodies have time to recover and rest, and that we're not just going out and racing every time we train. So I think that's one of the top ones that I would love to talk about, is just not overtraining. And whether you get a coach or you just make sure that you listen to your body and how it's doing after runs, and whether that means you track it in a diary or track it online, there are options to make sure that you're listening to your body. Because as runners, we tend to just, it hurts, we'll be fine. We'll just keep going.
No couched marathon in 5 weeks or anything?
No. There's people that can do it, but I would highly advise against it.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about me. Okay. So, but no, overtraining. So I've heard the 10% rule. I've heard the 15% rule, and I've seen apps that do Couch to 5K is a really popular one that I've had people on that say it tells me exactly what to do. So do you look at schedules, or do you look at how you're feeling? A little bit of both? What's a starting block for this?
Right. The 10% rule is a good generalization if you're developing your own plans. You don't want to go more than 10% per week, increasing your total mileage. So look at your whole weekly mileage, not just one on your long run. Look at your whole mileage per week. That you can use kind of a 10% rule. There's also perceived exertion. Do you feel like if you're on a scale of 0 to 10, 0, you're rocking it, you could hold this for an ultra, or 10, you're dying, right? So if you're on a 5 or so, I think you could progress. But if you're feeling like you're higher than that every week, then I would just simmer down, take some mileage out, or take that speed work out. Make sure that you're not killing yourself every week, because we're not racing every week. We're training. We're trying to build and not break down.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so are there schedules online that people can start off with that you recommend, or just basically there's Google it and make sure that it's not something spammy?
Yeah. I remember the first marathon I did, I actually did use just a Googled plan, and I did it. I got through it. But I think you could do that, right? That's a nice, cheap way to do it. You have the plan built in. But also, I think one thing nice is about having a coach is I've dealt with this a few weeks, because people are starting to get back in, they're getting sick, and they're like, I missed my long run. I'm not going to be ready. And it's really okay. You're sick. We'll back it off. Let's make sure you can get in this mileage this week, and then we'll build from there. So it kind of depends. You can be successful with that training plan, but I would give you advice that if you feel bad one week, or if you're sick, or you have some pains that don't go away when you run, then take some time, take a break. It's okay. Let your body have some chill time. And I think that comes from a PT perspective too, because it's the healing time. We've got to make sure that we're not just kicking our tails all the time.
Yeah. And I think with whether it's clubs or training plans or coaches, I think there's an accountability factor versus a spreadsheet. Like I used Hal Hilligan, which was great, but I had other people accountable for me to show up, which was cool. So yeah, whether it's a coach or something, I think you need some sort of accountability for it.
Yeah. And I think one thing I would say is don't feel like you have to have the fastest time. Don't discount the easy runs because you're not just, take those easy times, like have a very easy run where you can hold a conversation with the people you're running with the whole time. That's a good indicator of you being at a pace that is easy and not stressing your body too much. So when you're out with your friends, having fun, you're meeting up with the groups and you're having your accountability, make sure you take some easy runs too.
Okay. Excellent. Cool. All right. Well, let's move on to number 2. I love it.
Yeah. So number 2 is kind of what I talked about last time as well. It's mobility and strength. So I'm huge on hip strength. I did some stuff with Bark on this. I showed him a couple exercises and I can talk through a few if you'd like for me too, Keith. I can do my best. Or people can find some stuff on my YouTube channel, whatever they want to do. But movement, mobility and strength are huge. And a lot of people, they'll tend to go to the gym. They'll do some basic stuff with machines or squats. And we as runners tend to miss particular muscle groups that we need to focus on. And so most of those being the hips that tend to be neglected. If you'll watch runners, you can kind of see the hips dropping. If you compare an elite runner who just looks like a gazelle, like just smooth, beautiful run, right? And then you see some of us recreational runners and we're just like lumbering along in a way. You're really showing that, especially towards the end of the race when you're tired and you see those race pictures. And, so so seeing those hips drop quite a bit can be an indicator that they're weak. And I like to make sure that people are aware of a few specific exercises they can do to try to ward that off, because that puts a lot of stress on the rest of your legs too, when your hips aren't absorbing a lot of the forces.
And all the exercises I've seen that you're not on a machine. You can do these at home and things like that. Yeah, I've noticed when people use machines, I think it focuses on specific muscles, not the entire leg or things or the hip. Is that true, or is that just me?
I feel like that's pretty accurate, actually. You described it well. If it's a machine like you'd see at the Y or Planet Fitness, a lot of times it's just one plane motion. You're like, for example, you're doing like a bicep curl, right? You're just focusing on the bicep curl. You're doing a fly, you're getting the shoulders. But it's not really a functional movement that you're going through like when we're running. So implementing that strength into things that implement your running pattern essentially. And you're right, they can be done at home with a band or a weight, or even body weight can sometimes be enough if your muscles are weak enough.
Okay, cool. Well, what are some of the exercises?
One of my favorites that I like to talk about is called the Running Man. And
nice.
Right? It's creative. So you're standing on one leg, and I do better when I talk through it and do it at the same time. So
you better, yeah. Let's make it fun.
Yeah. You'll see half of me, but I do better this way. So standing on one leg, you'll take the opposite leg behind you, have it in contact with the ground, and then you're going to bring it up like you're marching. Okay. So one leg on the ground is going to go from bending to straightening, and then the opposite leg is going to come from behind you to a marching position. And this is good because it works on your quad and your hip flexors on the opposite side. So you're hitting all of these pieces that we need when we're running. And if you do that 10 or 15 times, you're going to feel a good burn in your glute and in your quad. And so that translates over into building that up while we're running.
Okay, cool. And you said you have these on your YouTube video or your YouTube channel as well?
I don't have that one public, but I can make it public. So we talked about it so people can see it.
Okay. Yeah, whatever works. I'll put up the links as well. So that's cool. Yeah. Running Man, we'll remember to do that one. So.
Yeah, it's a good one. And then there's variations on the video if they check it out to make it harder and to be like, oh man, I really need to work on this. Yeah, it's good.
Well, speaking of running form, do people realize that some people don't engage their core or their glutes? I mean, might as well talk about butts right now. I mean, do people feel like they don't engage those, or do you talk about that, or does it come natural? I'm trying to figure out, like, a lot of people say, well, my glutes are sore. Well, are they sore because you used them or you didn't use them? I don't really know. It's just a common thing. People like to talk about their butts.
Yeah. And your butt doesn't lie, right? But
Nice.
hips don't lie from Shakira is a great segue into this conversation. But yeah, so the glutes are important. I think there's muscles that we tend to need more that aren't utilized as much. Like those are the ones that control our legs going out to the side and so forth. But the glutes themselves, like the glute max, the one that we think about a lot, isn't necessarily used a ton in running unless you're doing a lot of uphill running. So if you're on flat ground, you need more of these underlying muscles that are actually below the big glute muscle. And that's where like the Running Man, if you've heard of clamshells, different things like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So those hit a different area of your glute that really help keep us stabilized when we're running. And sometimes I feel like if they're running hills, yeah, your glutes are going to get sore, your calves are going to get sore because you're trying to propel yourself up. But if you're running on flat ground, I think you need a little bit more focus on some of these other muscles.
Yeah. The clamshell makes me feel like a total wuss. I'm like, how can I not do this? Like
All I'm doing is lifting my leg, right? Yeah.
I know, how heavy is my knee?
Exactly. It's not even full leg. What's going on? Yeah, clamshells, bird dogs, fire hydrants. If you've done a fire hydrant, those are pretty intimidating as well.
Oh yeah, that's cool. All right, so okay, so overtraining, and the second one, what was the main
strength
term?
Pretty much
Strength.
on that one. Strength.
Okay, cool.
And then the one that I didn't talk about with Bark was sleep. It's huge, and I've been listening to a lot of podcasts on it. I've been trying to get a little more information, just so that I can promote that with my runners and just give you guys the best knowledge and information possible. And it was recommended about 7+ hours. Of course, we each have a different need, right? But 7 to 9 hours is typically what's recommended based on who you are and what your body needs, because that's when we rejuvenate. That's when we recover from these long runs. That's when our bodies just rebuild and are able to take in the stress that we put on it and put out more strength and more control. So I just want to harp on making sure that you get your sleep, that your body is able to recover from the repetitive stuff that we do to it every day when we run.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, that's a hard one for some people, but I imagine they'll make it work if it's important. I'd imagine, there's been a couple times where there's been some close calls when I didn't sleep as much, and then next thing you know, I'm like, "Whoa, there's a curb," or
There's a curb.
Or the muscles just aren't quite working, and that was a close call. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. I think that's
it's like your brain can be kind of foggy, and the same thing with your body. It's just not meshing up as well as it could be if you were sleeping adequately as well.
Okay, excellent. Well, you say you were talking about other podcasts. What other ones are really good for runners to listen to?
Ooh, my favorite one that I'm listening to right now, I believe, let me make sure I tell you the correct order of the words. The Strength Running podcast is one of my favorites right now.
Oh, yeah.
I love that stuff. Like, Jason's awesome. And it's been some great information of different sorts, whether from training to psychology to PT. I've really jived with that podcast lately. That's one of my favorites. This one's more PT related. It's JOSPT. It's the Journal of Sports for Physical Therapy. And they're on the top of all evidence-based practice. And that's more for nerd PT people like me, but it's also got some really good information as well. Those are the two that I listen to the most right now.
I was wondering, speaking of, acronyms, okay, PT, DPT. Okay. Got that. What's OCS?
Orthopedic Certified Specialist.
Okay. What FAAOMPT? FAAOMPT.
Yeah, you said it right. Good job. It's just a fellow my fellowship is in sports and manual therapy. So it's just an additional certification, couple years, hours of training with other fellows. And yeah, so a lot of work.
Actually call it FAAOMPT?
Yeah, you said it right.
Okay. I was just trying to make a joke. Okay, cool. All right.
No, you sounded like you were right in the business. Yeah. You got it.
I can read. All right, sweet.
I can use my phonics. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I did notice on your Instagram handle, I definitely want to promote that as well. You're talking about like the top 3 mental toughness strategies. Obviously, they could read that online, but, kind of give us like a glimpse of like, what's a mental toughness thing? Because I think it's almost as important as physical, but that's just me. But, there's definitely a 1%, whether it's 1% or 99%, somewhere in between mental toughness or mindset. What's a good mindset tip that you can give us?
That's a great question. I agree with you. I think mindset is hugely important as being successful as runners, because our bodies are going to want to tell us they're tired. They're done. I mean, you get to mile, if you're running a half, you're at mile 10, you're like, ooh, I'm getting tired. Or a mile, that last 20, that 0.2 in a marathon. Yeah, it'll get you. So it's pushing through. It's being able to say, hey, body, I know we can do this. Let's go. So the series I did on mental kind of toughness for runners was like if then statements, triggers, and then I'm going to be doing one on mental imagery as well coming up. And basically it's preparing for things is the main thing for this. And it's, if you run into the situation in a race or you run into the situation in your training, how are you going to address it so that you don't freak out, you have an answer, and you're going to be able to succeed? Ooh. So things like that. So one of the examples that I heard was like Michael Phelps. He would say, if my goggles fill with water, what am I going to do? And then he'll practice it so that he already has that ingrained in him. So when he comes into that situation, he can address it. So for runners, let's say, for example, you're like, oh, I forgot my goo at home, but what am I going to do? So I'll have something in my car. I can run and get it real quick. If I forget or my stomach hurts, I'm going to have, a Pepto in my bag just in case. Kind of been feeling funny. Here's what I'm going to do just to make sure that the race is successful. So basically it's just prior preparation to have a plan for things that may arise, whether it's rain, stomach, whatever it may be. That way you're ready and you can push through whatever obstacle comes your way.
If then, I like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's simple.
I always bring extra goo because for some reason I can't be successful in opening up a goo. So one's going to go flying. I'm going to give someone to a rando.
So if I give one away, I have another one.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's cool because I'd imagine, ingrained in you, so you don't have to think about it. And thinking takes a lot of energy, especially when running a marathon.
Yeah, and when you're tired or you're anxious or you're nervous, it even, you're like, oh, I already planned for this. I've got it. I'm good. Here we go.
Yeah, we could talk about bathroom jokes, all sorts of stuff, but
we've all got those stories.
Yeah, those are runners. You gotta be prepared for that. So yeah, we'll definitely link up, the YouTube video or videos, whatever, you feel comfortable sharing on your channel, your Instagram, so people can get those other, mental tips. But so for physical therapy, like what, obviously run coach, but what else do you offer? What are all the things that you can help with?
Yeah. So I'm a physical therapist. I'm mobile. So I either meet people at their homes or parks or gyms. And so it allows them a little flexibility because I go to them versus having to go to like a clinic, things like that.
Yeah, awesome.
So I treat runners, but I treat all sorts of injuries and people as well. Running is my passion. So it's what you've seen me market on my social media and so forth. And that's what I love to treat, but I treat other people as well. I also have a wellness program, which is basically glorified personal training. So if you need someone to hold you accountable for your strength training, I do that virtually or in person as well. And then running analysis is another program that I offer. I'm partnering with another gentleman right now at 258 to do drone videos, and then I just analyze it for them.
Whoa,
so that one's
cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah, because his guy flies his
just
drone.
For the drone.
Yeah, I have one, but I'm just not as good as this other guy flying. He's way better. And then of course, run coaching as well. So getting people ready for their races. We got Chicago coming up this weekend. Really excited to see how my guy does this weekend.
Cool.
So it should be, So getting you reach your goals, holding you accountable, preventing you from overtraining. Those things are all part of that.
Yeah. Do you think a lot of people overstride because they don't know how to run? Like, okay, I'm just going to walk fast. Well, that's heel toe. I mean, what percentage that you analyze that, you are overstriding? I'm going to guess 80%, and I'm probably way off.
No, it's quite a bit, if not 50-50 for sure. Because if we do check their, good job. if we check their cadence from the video, I mean, most people are definitely below, I'm seeing people in the 150s,
Ooh.
60s, and they're dealing with a lot of bone stress injuries. So, I mean, let's get you running a little bit shorter steps, and you're going to take a lot of pressure off those bones. So, stress fracture, stress reactions, those things can be lessened just by reducing your step length.
Okay. That makes me feel better because I overstrided forever. And it's still, you have to consciously remind myself. No shame. All right, cool.
No shame at all. It's very common. It's definitely something that can be fixed. It takes a little time to practice, and it's not changed overnight, but it can definitely make a difference in your running.
All right, cool. Well, before I ask you the lightning round questions, anything else you'd like to share, plug, that finds value to the listeners?
No, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today. It's been fun. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you get some great value. So definitely check out next time I get hurt. So
I'm here.
Not putting it out there, but stuff happens,
Please don't. Right. Yeah, but I'm here if you need me.
All right, awesome. Well, you ready for the lightning round?
Let's do it.
All right, this is a hard one. Question number 1: if you could run with anybody famous, who would it be?
Oh, probably Sarah Hall, the lady that just did the marathon fastest time. That'd be amazing. I'd be like way back there, but like,
I just wanted to say, you got a scooter.
It'd be fun to run with her and talk to her. She sounds really cool. I listened to her on some podcasts with her husband too, and she sounds pretty cool. That sounds like a fun run if she can do her easy run with my speed work.
Someone's gonna get hurt. We're gonna run too fast, or she's gonna run too slow.
Exactly.
But you're PT, so there we go. Perfect.
Fix myself later. Have someone else needle me. Yeah, we'll do that.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. I saw you did dry needling. Oh, that just scares me, but I'd imagine a lot of people see great results with it. So
yeah, clinically, I've seen some great results with it in reducing pain. Typically, I use it as a treatment to help the pain control, but typically that means, something else is a little wonky in your mechanics, but it can definitely help with training and getting through that painful stage.
Yeah.
I tried to needle myself the other day and I'm not the best at it. I can't do it as well.
All right. Well, question number 2, what's your favorite local race?
Ooh, I have enjoyed doing it's the Texans run. I can't think of the name. I wore the shirt on Sunday. Running with the Bulls. That's one of my favorite ones because it ends in the stadium at Energy. That one in the Bayou Bucket at Rice. For some reason, I like running into football stadiums. Those are some of my favorite races.
Well, plus, especially at Rice, you get to go down the ramp. So, you got that.
Yeah, you pick up some speed.
All right, cool deal. And question number 3, what's your favorite culinary guilty pleasure?
Ooh, I love sweets. Let's see. Well, my favorite one, I had cookies today from a patient. I'd go with, I like brownies. I think brownies are delicious. And if you add some chocolate chip cookie in the middle, even better. Oh,
nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So any place you like to go to, or you're like me, you like to make it yourself?
Exactly. I like to make it myself.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I do both.
When in Rome. Yeah. If you're near a cookie store, by all means. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, definitely like baking myself. Yes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, appreciate it again, Amber, and look forward to meeting you in person. And we did this over Zoom with our schedules, but either way, good stuff, and I appreciate all your time today.
Thanks, Keith. I appreciate it.
Thanks for visiting the Houston Running Zone. If you know someone you'd like to be featured in the zone, go to thehoustonrunningzone.com and send us a message. Until next week, always remember, Houston, we've got the runs.